Daytime running is so much more enjoyable than nighttime. Norman and I explored these trails all last night in the pitch black, but I had no idea where we were, so nice to come out here again.
Hello Eric, this is Eric, coincidentally from Marquee Cycling. We are a cycling component company from South LA, California. Really love your content. Thank you. We saw that you needed some bar tape for a few bikes. I was wondering if you'd be open to trying them and doing a review. It's a very tacky bar tape that the Aventon team uses in the Red Hook Crit. Sincerely, Eric. Consider it done. So Marquee sent along 3 different colors. It looks like there's 2 of the same kind. One is different. The black and what looks like Celeste green are the diamond pattern. The black with the red honeycomb is the Marquee Hex Grip. I guess this is maybe the new one here because it says new. They all do say the same thing on the packaging. Handlebar tape, shock absorbing material, easy installation. I guess they've never made a YouTube video about putting bar tape on to see all the differing opinions. Soft and durable construction, fade and wear resistant. It must just be the textures and the outer part of the bar tape that's different. Besides that, everything kind of stays consistent. I can't help but feel like it's a little bit of a waste to put some like new nice bar tape on that thing. So I'm not going to. This is the bike of choice. I wish I didn't just put flat bars on my fixed gear. I feel like it makes more sense for me to be putting that red hex bar tape on my track bike because, you know, these guys sponsor the Aventon team that races in Red Hook Crit and seems to play together really well. But I don't want to switch back just yet. So I think I'm going to go the least obvious route with this and go ahead and put a Celeste green bar tape on this bike. Also, with the roughness of the bar tape that's on the drop bars that stay on the track bike, I can't help but feel like this is the right choice. Finishing tape is really nice. So included is 2 rolls of bar tape, cheap bar end plugs, and some of the best finishing tape that I've seen. They did send some bar ends with it, so I'm going to use those instead. I think just to be annoying, I'm going to go with red. It seems that every single time that I show any sort of video of bar tape wrapping, a comment comes up that I'm doing it the wrong way. So that sort of leads me to believe that maybe I'm not at all the authority for teaching how to bar tape. Besides, I don't really love teaching how to do anything anyway, but if there's any advice that I can give, or if there's anything that I can sort of recommend, is going with a bar tape that's going to allow you to stretch it without ripping, and also, while wrapping the handlebars, just try and keep the same amount of tension everywhere so you don't get this awkward weirdness of different thicknesses. Oh, also, try and keep the same overlap. I like to go about halfway, probably to this point of overlap. Try and keep a big gap from happening here. Also, you want to cut it perpendicular, and then when you put your tape on, don't want to end up with some messes, and there's a lot of rules. New, decent tape these days, especially stuff like this that has this tacky feel, tape on the back, it honestly won't move that much. Just keep it tight and keep it even as you're going along. You'll be fine. Honestly, right here is probably the most annoying part, and it's going to be the part you're going to want to just take your time, make sure you're doing it right. If you have to unwrap a little bit, restart, make sure there's not any weird overlaps, that's fine. Kind of when it comes to me and around the lever area, I pretty much hate every method other than just wrapping around it and continuing on. It can leave a gap. You do have to use a cheater strip. I hate the bulkiness of a figure 8, and I hate the way it looks when you try and reverse it and you get this big, ugly amount of bar tape here. I realize now this is why I tape bars the way I do. I know that finishing tape off has always kind of been like a bit of a mystery to some people, But if you can just look at it in the way that is going to give you a straight line when you're done wrapping, that is the way you want to do it. I'm well aware that that wasn't a great explanation, but like I said, I'm not a great teacher. With any high quality adhesive back bar tape, even if you don't have this tape spinning this way, you're gonna have a pretty hard time unraveling it unless you're just giving it everything you've got. I don't know why you'd ever have that problem. This stuff's no exception. This wrapped on really, really tight. Didn't give me any indication that I was pulling too hard and that it might tear. You can probably hear that rubbery, grippy sound. This stuff is quite tacky. I'm pleasantly surprised at the adhesive that's on these finishing pieces. Generally, the adhesive on finishing pieces is absolute garbage and makes using them completely just unfeasible. There's a lot of indicators while working with this bar tape that says high quality product. However, the real answer comes from using it out there.
So initial feel here, quite positive. I'm happy with the way it feels, especially being someone who really does not like riding in gloves. I'll put every ounce of effort into the entire year to keep from having to wear gloves too often. When everything's dry, the tackiness of this bar tape makes it so that you don't have to hold on so tight, and it kind of gives you that extra bit of grip, kind of making it feel a little bit softer. But I know for a fact that it's not soft because that quoted vibration dampening, just like every other cork style bar tape, well, it's not really there. I was surprised, however, that when I dunked my hands into that puddle and soaked this bar tape, it got really slippery, like slipperier than I would have thought. Maybe not more than any other bar tape. I guess I just sort of expected this texture and this feel to work a little bit better in the wet, so. But right now, the grip that this offers reminds me a lot of like a BMX grip, so I'm a big fan of that. In the about probably 5 or 6 kilometers I've put on it so far, just giving it everything I've got, moving bar tape everywhere I can, there's no indication of moving at all. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. The adhesive on the back of this stuff seems like it's quality enough that it's just gonna hold it in place no matter how you tape the bars, so. Oh no, sticks! Oh no, sticks aren't getting derailers! Oh.
So, to summarize and finalize, it is a nice wrapping tape. It's tough enough that you can get the tension on there, you know that it's not going anywhere, the gel tape that's on the back of it keeps it in place. The feel of the tape without gloves on, very good. Reminds me of a BMX grip, however it does suffer quite a bit when it gets wet. The claimed vibration dampening, no more or less than any other quality bar tape that I've ever used. Durability, I'm not sure, I haven't crashed it yet, and I only rode it for about 10 kilometers, but I'm happy with how it feels. I'm actually pretty happy that they sent me 3 pairs because I'll gladly put it on some other bikes. And then probably the thing you're wondering the most is price. I think it's a very reasonable, normal $25 US, on sale on their site for 20. right now. For the way this stuff feels versus the other companies who claim to have the same sort of feeling bar tape, which I'm sure it does, like Lizard Skin and Supercaz and all these other companies that are doing this like kind of like rubber feeling grippy bar tape. I think it's a very competitively well priced bar tape. Okay. I'm gonna stop singing the praises of one of the cheaper upgrades you can make to your bike, bar tape, and go away.